I'll just see what happens. Hey, how are you, Facebook world? Super stoked today because something really special is happening right now, and I can't wait to share it with you. I'm going to try and work out the camera, or maybe not. Do you know what? I'll just do it like this. It doesn't matter. Thank you. So, this is a really special moment for me because sometimes we get to gift socks to people that we never saw coming. But today I've got Vontae, our boss, and I've got Clint with us. And what this little story is just extraordinary how it happens. Now, down at my place in Frankston, where they're focusing on community and getting people together, and they've got a market on today. But what's going to happen right now is just extraordinary. So, firstly, I want to say thank you, Yvonne, thank you, Clint, for both being here and for doing what you both do, because it's extraordinary. But I'm going to start with Clint, if that's okay. And Clint, if you can share with us what you're doing on Christmas Day and why you're here to do this right now.
Yeah, g'day. Retired soldier, and Ward 17 in Melbourne is Heidelberg Repat. There's only 20 beds for PTS, post-traumatic stress, in the whole country, basically. And soldiers and emergency services, police, fires, ambos, have, they go outside their own family unit to protect other families. And the job quite often goes unthanked. But more than that, there's no repatriation for soldiers and emergency services, especially police and anyone weaponised. Any weaponised career is very poor, government-wise, and it's only getting worse with the extra pressures of this current 3 years of drama. And so I go to the hospital. I did it for about 6 years previously, and I've had a 3-year break, and because of the current drama. And so I go to schools and speak to communities about the military's career. They take a police officer with me sometimes who's got PTS, post-traumatic stress, and sometimes a assistance dog, and I speak about the conditions of service rather than what people know in the media and stuff about the military or the police force or whatever. And it's usually received very well. And the school's children make cards for the hospital and beautiful messages of support, which can make you cry, as with me a few times. And they make it on their own behalf. I mean, I ask them to, but the beautiful messages. And I buy Christmas cards and socks and chocolates, and sometimes DVDs. Well, not many people use DVDs these days. And give it to the soldiers and the police in the hospital who are struggling with PTS and just can't face the world. And Christmas time's an even worse time of year. They're segregated from the community anyway. They don't know how to. There's a whole heap of reasons. You can't sort of tar it with one brush, but there's a whole different environment. The military, especially, it's an institutional sort of career. It's insular, and the police force is a bit like that too. And they go there just for time out. And there's nothing wrong with their brains. They've got big hearts, and they just need some time out. So yeah, the socks and the messages of support from on the Christmas cards, it just means so much. And usually there's thousands on the windows. We put them all up on the windows in the hospital, and they wake up in the morning and see the messages, and they realise that somebody actually cares in the community. That they're not on their own on the the day they're supposed to be around family and their teammates in the army or the police force or whatever. Yeah, so that's the main part of it, and just bring a bit of awareness too when I go to the schools and speak about it. It's not just about using weapons and that. It becomes another family, the army. The military, I shouldn't just say the army, that's Air Force and Navy. And I don't like cameras, so I'm not looking at the camera.
You're doing an amazing job.
Yeah, so that's the main part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's received pretty well. But, there you go.
No, thank you, Clint. Thank you for sharing what it is. So I'm just going to jump over quickly because the reason I met Clint is in a meeting having a bit of yarn, learning about the community, and Clint came in with all his cards and asked people to fill them out and write messages of hope to the soldiers and police officers, and I thought, what an amazing thing. I've got something for this. As some of you will know Dutchy, who does a lot of work for PTSD, he and I do a few conversations. But the socks, to gift people a pair of socks, black dots represent our dark days. We all have them. No one's getting out of that. One of the biggest people I have the impact on is actually senior police officers, where I don't thank them for what they do. I thank them for what doesn't happen because of what they do. And that's an even bigger message of support. But the reason why Von's sitting here, and this is just so synchronous, like to come here to see Clint and hand over 30 pairs of socks, the person who actually made that happen is Yvonne. So Von, do you want to do a bit of an introduction, as like many people have seen us talk anyway, but it's a little bit of an introduction about New Earth community and who you are and what you do.
Oh, wow. Okay. So Von Boss is my handle.
Yeah.
I started bringing people together about 35 years ago, being guided to educate, inform people of the new phase of humanity, of living with love and living from the heart and letting go of all the rules and regulations and the control, which seems to have increased. And so for 35 years, I've brought people together who are heart connected and soul connected, and mine always comes from connecting to soul. And then serendipitously, Scott and I have been brought together. Well, actually, at the beginning of the scenarios 3 years ago, we did a podcast. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember that one.
You invited me.
Yep.
And we were introduced by a mutual friend of ours. And then recently he reached out and we did another podcast. And so then came to, because we do all these wonderful New Earth community gatherings, and we do brekkies every Monday morning, and we have picnics in the park, and we just a community of people that welcome anyone. And there is no judgment, there is no opinion, there's just welcoming all of you all the time. And so Scott came to one of our brekkies and brought his socks and started a riot because we sold out in about 2 minutes. And then he just dropped a whole lot of socks in the boot of my car, and so they have gone since that, and that's how I have been influential in having this impact. And this is something that I want to say, we all have impact. Everybody has impact. We have to take responsibility as I go, and accountability for what kind of impact we want to have into the world. It is absolutely essential that we start to come home and really accept accountability for that. So I'm so excited because when I'm brought together with someone, and there is this just symbiotic movement of, obviously Scott and I have work to do, and we didn't know that, but hey, I'm open. And here I am, and I said, I'd love to sit between these two guys, but if you have a look, I look like this midget, right? And I really am not a midget. But I'm all legs and no body. So when I sit down and I've had these giants beside me, I look like this little person, which is all fine. But I just want to say what an amazing job both of these men are doing. They are giving from the heart, and that is what we've lost, human kindness. And the socks, which you aren't waving about, but the socks are a tool to open people's hearts and to make people, aware of that we care. Okay. Oh, I feel like I'm doing a commercial. Okay. And making people aware that we care. Yeah. And so these socks bring in funds that then allow Clint to go and, bring so much love into these beautiful people's hearts and minds. And don't we all need that? 100%. So thank you. And I was on my way to have coffee, and he said, no, you can't go. You need to come on camera. And here I am, again, with two beautiful men. I do that so well.
And honestly, I just want oh, God, work out the camera a sec. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because without your community, we wouldn't be sitting here right now gifting Clint socks to take in that really do send a message from the heart. So I want to hand over the 30 pairs of socks to Clint and say a massive thank you, because every time somebody buys a pair of socks, it gives us the opportunity to gift a pair to somebody else. Today is the prime example of just how much of a difference we make together. So from my heart to yours, Clint, I can't thank you enough for what you do. I can't thank you enough for supporting people who really do need it. Von, for having a community of people that get behind other people. This is how we grow. Community.
But this is the new earth.
It is, 100%.
This is the new earth, how we want to move forward with human kindness and acceptance of all humans and supporting those who are having a dark day, as the docs
100%.
show, and giving from the heart. And you know, it always comes back to you.
100%.
Tenfold.
And we can all do it, right? If we choose love instead of fear.
Yeah.
Clint, is any final words?
Oh, thanks, Scotty and Scott and Yvonne. Really appreciate it, and that's what the world's all about, and is heart, and that's why the soldiers are in there, because they got big hearts, and the coppers that are in there.
Yeah.
Anyone who puts themselves outside their own comfort zone for others is usually using their heart. I don't think there's money that really makes you feel like that you should risk your life for people. That's your heart, and that's what gets you in trouble in life as well. Heart as well.
I think we all know that too, right?
Yes.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Clint. Thank you so much, Yvonne.
My pleasure.
Community, have a look at the difference we're making together. This is what we're doing when we do it together. Just sharing this video actually supports everything we're doing. It's not always about having the money or being present. It's actually just sharing the message, getting behind one another. So I encourage you to share it. Let people know what we're doing. Hey, and let's put some smiles on some dollars. Have an amazing day. Thanks, Vaughn. Thanks, Clint.
Thank you.
Take care. Now, where's that bloody button?